In this chapter, we're going to be looking at discrete random variables. And in this video, we're just going to kick things off by defining what one is and then looking at a few problems. So a discrete random variable, we can unpack the terms in that. So discrete means that there is a list of possible outcomes. In this case, it's £0, 50p, £2 and £5. So it's a list of possible outcomes, or some outcomes that you can list. Now it could in theory be infinitely long, but it's different from continuous data in that you can list it out sequentially. It's random because there's a random element to which outcome we get, and it's variables because there's variable different outcomes. So a discrete random variable, you have your list of outcomes and the probabilities associated with them. So here we've got a setup representing the following things. So at a fairground, a game consists of throwing a dart at a board. On the board are 4 regions and each is worth a different prize. The table below shows the probability and prize money for each region. So given what the board is like, there is a 0.5 chance of winning nothing. There is a 0.3 chance of winning 50p, a 0.15 chance of winning £2 and a 0.05 chance of winning £5. Now notice that these probabilities add up to 1. They have to. That is a fundamental requirement of a discrete random variable, that the probabilities add to 1, because if you play this game, something has to happen. So find the probability that someone wins more than £1 in the game. Well, that's quite simple. It's just the probability of winning 2 or 5, and you can add those together. This terminology here, the little x is here. You'll sometimes see x's and sometimes see r's. The lowercase represents the outcomes, and then the capital, that one represents what actually happens when you actually sample from this. So the probability that we actually get 0 is 0.5. So if we want the probability of actually getting more than £1, well, that's simply going to be the probability of winning £2, which is 0.15, plus the probability of winning £5, 0.05. So in this case, the answer is 0.2. Let's look at some more. So discrete random variable A and its associated probabilities are shown in the partially completed table. So there's the table. The possible outcomes are 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and we have some of the probabilities. Now we're told, given that the probability that A is 6 is 3 times the probability that A is 3, find the probability that A is more than 4. Okay, let's start by thinking about this information here. Let's for the moment put some unknowns in here. We know the probability of it being 6 is 3 times the probability of it being 3. So let's call this one P for probability. And we'll try and work out what that is. If that's P, this one's 3p, because we're told the probability that A is 6 is 3 times the probability of it being 3. Well, now we can use the fact that the probabilities have to add to 1. We must have P plus 0.1 plus 0.2 plus 3p plus 0.5 must equal 1. I can just neaten this up now. The p and the 3p add to 4p. The 0.1, the 0.2 and the 0.5 add to 0.8. And now I can just solve this. 4p is 0.2, and that means that p is 0.05. So now when it says work out the probability that A is greater than 4, well, the probability that A is greater than 4, it must be either 5, 6 or 7. So I can just add those up. Probability that's 5 is 0.2. Probability that 6 is 3p, so 3 times my p value from below. And the probability that it's 7 is 0.5. Add these up and I get 0.85, and that's the answer to this question. Take a look at this one now. There are 10 people waiting at a bus stop. 4 are children and 6 are adults. The bus arrives and has only 3 spaces. Let x be the number of children selected. Create a probability distribution for x. Okay, so we're going to have to think, what is the probability of there being either 0, 1, 2 or 3 children selected? So we can do this by using some of the permutations and combinations results that we know. So the probability that x equals 0, that's the probability that no children were selected. So we'd have to say, how many ways are there to choose 3 people from the total of 10? That's 10 choose 3. And how many of those are situations where no children were selected? Well, that's when we chose 0 from the four children, and we must have then therefore chosen 3 from the 6 adults. So this is the calculation that we work out. So 4 choose 0 is 1, 6 choose 3 is 20, and 10 choose 3, that's the total number of ways of just choosing 3 people in general, is 120. So we get 1/6. That's the chance of choosing no children. Now for choosing 1 child, well, we just update what we had from above. Out of the 4 children, we choose 1. Out of the 6 adults, we now choose 2, and we still divide by 10 choose 3, because that's the total number of ways of choosing 3 people in general. So I can just key this in one go into my calculator. 4 choose 1 times 6 choose 2 divided by 10 choose 3, and this one is a half. Now, probability that we have 2 children, that's going to be choosing 2 of the 4 children, which means there was only 1 of the 6 adults, and I divide that by 10 choose 3. So I can just update all of that on my calculator, and we get 3/10. And finally, the probability that all of them were children, well, that means that it's 4 choose 3, and I chose no adults, so 6 choose 0, and again, all over 10 choose 3. Key that into my calculator, and it's 1/30. So now we can create our table. The number of children was either 0, 1, 2, or 3. And the probability of this happening, we've now worked out. The probability of 0 was 1/6. The probability of 1 was half. The probability of 2 was 3/10. And the probability of 3 was 1/30. Now, of course, we could have worked out that last one by just doing 1 minus all of these. I think it's not a bad idea to work them all out separately, and then you can just check that they do in fact add up to 1. It's a good way to check and see if you've made any errors. So I've just done that. I've just checked, and yes, these do all add up to 1. So there's our discrete random variable for this problem. Okay, let's look at this final problem. Here it says the discrete random variable x is defined as follows. The probability that x is some particular value is, now we've got a bracket here which gives me 2 options. So one option is kx over x plus 2, and that's for x is 1, 2, 3 or 4, and it's 0 otherwise. So probability of anything other than these numbers is 0. What this means is my table will only have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a way of telling me there are no other possible outcomes. So now I need to work out what is the probability of each of these using this rule. Okay, so when x is 1, the rule is k times 1 over 1 plus 2. So that's k times 1 is k, and that's over 1 plus 2, which is 3. So that's the probability that x is 1. And I just work through doing this for all of them. So when x is 2, I have 2k over 2 plus 2, so 2k over 4, which I know can be simplified. When k is 3, we have 3k over 5. And finally, when x is 4, we have 4k over 6. So I need to work out the probability that x is less than or equal to 2, and I'm going to do that by finding the value of k. So I can use the fact that these must add to 1. So I know that k over 3 plus 2k over 4, which I'll simplify to k over 2, plus 3k over 5 plus 4k over 6, which I'll simplify to 2k over 3, that's got to equal 1. Now, if I factorise a k out of this, I have a third plus a half plus 3/5 plus 2/3 equals 1. So I'm just going to use my calculator to work out the sum of these fractions. When I do that, I get 21 over 10. So 21 over 10k is 1. And then I can just divide through by that fraction. 1 divided by 21 over 10 is 10 over 21. Okay, so I want to work out the probability that x is less than or equal to 2, which means it's this or this. It's either 2 or 1. So I can just sub my value of k into here. So that's just going to be 10 over 21 over 3 plus, well, 2k over 4 is the same as k over 2, so that's k over 2. So when I key that into my calculator, I get 25 over 63, or if we wanted it in a decimal, we could have 0.397. And so that's how we can solve this problem here. So that's an introduction to discrete random variables. In the next few videos, we're going to explore what we can do with them.